underneath those patterns, let's not talk about the pet peeves, let's talk about the concepts. What was the major concept for today?
For you.
Legs connected to feet, and the feet are connected to the floor. So we're building energy through the floor, our feet, our legs, obviously into the rest of our embrace. And what did Cristina share with you about the feet? The very first thing we did?
Four corners.
4 corners. And we're using the 4 corners in this movement as much as possible, if you will. Both leaders and followers. Okay? So we're trying to develop, here's the little cheat step. You'll see this in the demo. We'll do a little dance demo. We're trying to develop a compression more than just the standard embrace that we have. And this cheat step and pattern, we help develop that. So in the upper embrace itself, there's going to be a little bit more, if you will, engaging, kind of hugging, squeezing, extra hug, because the follower and the leader will have an extra tilt. Not just your nominal close embrace tilt. As the tilt gets a little more precarious, we're supporting each other a little more by adding more compression from the embrace. But if you have no connection to the floor through your legs, good luck on just hugging extra. It's like you're both falling off a cliff and you're hugging each other. You're supposed to fall to the bottom of the cliff. You can hug each other as much as you want, you're going to crash and burn. So if you don't have the floor underneath you and know how to engage with your feet and your legs through then your embrace as you compress, you don't have the foundation. Word. Word. That's the main message. Now, what are some of the pet peeves? What's the first one?
Touching heads.
Yeah, so I love touching heads, but there's a nice way to do it and kind of a painful headache way, crick in the neck way to do it. So try in class, if you don't mind, to let your heads float and imagine that your partner's from Holland and this tall lead. What's another pet peeve? Yeah, no need to go down in close embrace, or actually even in any embrace. You can go down for style or to be more grounded, but right now we're trying not to minimize it, trying to stay level. What's another one? Yeah, this especially, you have to control your line, because if you start drifting somewhere else, this becomes like a sustained volcada type pattern and not what we're trying to do. So we're really trying to put 1 foot, after this cheat step leaders, 1 foot in front of the other, and followers 1 foot behind the other. After you make your first little step, this big one is still right behind the other step.
Followers, how do we know when to put down our left foot when they lead that first back step that's supposed to be a short step? How do we know? How do we know? How do I know that I'm only supposed to land it here versus here?
When if you move further, you lose the compression.
Yes, and what am I listening from his body if Homer is leading? It's this progression here. It's how he's moving his center. And he's not moving his center a lot. It's really a little bit of switch from his right leg to his left leg. And leaders, this is how you control that step. It's how you move your torso forward. If you move it too much, it's going to reach. Okay. And then one other thing, followers. Once they start the compression, does it stay the same the whole time? It's a trick question.
No.
No, it builds up, right? Like, for example, when he leads the first back step, cuddly, 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 little bit. And then now he's going to start building it. So I really have to engage my legs into the floor to get into my back, to get into my embrace, to put power in my body pushing against it.
And can you only do this in close embrace?
No.
No, we can do it in open.
And give it a step or two after the cross to go back to normal. Don't just go right to regular embrace right away.
So cuddly, 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 little bit, more, really a lot. Now it's over.
And
We're
right
back
now,
to cuddly.
it's normal.
Yeah.
And is the reason that you rotate your shoulders so that you can keep your feet in line? Is that related to that?
Part of it, it's more related to the lead and to softening the edges, so we're not kind of like robotically doing this on the outside of her, and she feels like she's over here also dancing like a square. So we're being more soft with the edges. In close embrace, it feels nice. And there's communication there, so it's kind of the language as well. It's communicating, this is how I lead across. So with any foot, even if I go with my right foot, I still twist with the same mechanics as going with the left first. One step you're homogeneous, one you're contralateral. It's right here.
Okay.
I have a question.
No, followers, do you understand what that means?
So watch, here's horizontal. That wasn't so heavy, was it?
No.
You know what? The first one was horizontal, and I really pushed against Paul. I really pushed, and he just blew right through me. And I was really pushing. When I went vertical, I just hung, barely hung, and he was taken down to the ground. So it's really amazing how followers, the smallest follower, if she goes down and just hangs like this, will take Paul down.
That's heavy.
Yeah, and the biggest follower, if she pushes horizontally, can push as much as she wants, and Paul's still going to walk right to the cross. Within reason.
Okay.
Here's a little half-song demo. We will take about a 10-minute break. You can ask questions during the break if you want.